Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I'm telling you this straight up, these leftist elitists will never understand, they will never get it. I don't know if they're just hard-headed and they do it on purpose, or if they seriously believe that this kind of thing makes them look good. Whatever it is, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. These people are absolutely delusional if they think that anyone's jumping onto this bandwagon. Here we go again as the continued demonization of Trump campaign continues, this time on CNBC, it's an NBC network, where you should expect neutral analysis, but no, instead, you get vehement anti-Trump subjective opinion nonsense, and of course the cherry on top, a bunch of grand claims that aren't actually based in reality at all. No, they come straight from the mind of those who are truly Trump deranged. Let's take a look at what's going on at CNBC. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so here's a clip that's currently bouncing around Twitter. This is Barry Diller. Every leftist and their mother on the platform is tweeting this video, generally with a little bit of accompanying text that falls within this realm of opinion. One of the greatest entrepreneurs and deal makers of our time on Donald J. Trump stock. It's a scam.
Not a political question about former President Trump, but actually a business question about Truth Social. You've seen this stock on the move in this, I'll call it remarkable, maybe even crazy way.
Just say two words, GameStop.
GameStop. That's what you think is going on here?
It's ridiculous.
The
company has no revenue.
But do you think it could ever be a bigger business? Do you think if he wins the presidency, it becomes...
Why?
I'm asking...
Why would it be bigger? Look, he's only interesting now because he's out there entertaining the folks. I hope if he does get elected, he just plays golf for 4 years. But
so do you think that all of the investors in this are getting scammed? Do you think they think this is a transference of wealth from one side to the other, and that's the goal? What do you think is happening?
I think they're dopes. I mean, who would buy a company that literally has, I think, what does it have? $30 of revenue? Why would you how could you put a value on it? They're buying it for other reasons, just like they bought theaters when there was no theater business, or they bought GameStop or whatever. It's stupid. It's stupid stuff.
It was 1,000 times revenue, I think.
What?
I think it was wasn't it $4 million? It was
$4 million in revenue. That's $4 million in revenue. It's ridiculous. I'm not saying it's not real.
$4 million.
Why are you even talking about this? It's a scam, just like everything he's ever been involved in is some sort of con.
Let me pivot.
Amazing survival of a con man is just beyond comprehension, but there it is.
It's a scam, apparently. Why is it a scam? Well, probably because Donald Trump's doing it. Well, please explain to us, Mr. Diller, in clear terms, why exactly it's a stock. And of course, you heard the explanation, because everything Donald Trump does is a scam, and he's a con artist, and I can't believe he gets away with it all the time. Okay, great argument. We get it. You hate Trump stock because you hate the man. You hate Donald Trump, and you have this perceived opinion of him as being a big con artist, and this is another one of his scams. I don't know how they constantly expect this nonsense to work in their favor. You know, it's almost as if they're presenting this idea as if Trump stock is being presented by Donald Trump as this great stock value. He's conning all of these people into buying his company when there's no actual value there. He's scamming people, but of course that's not at all what's happening. I don't even think Trump has shilled his stock very much. I mean, he's just been working to get the deal done behind the scenes to get the whole thing approved by regulatory bodies. All the regulatory entities involved greenlit the project. He did absolutely nothing wrong, and people simply bought the stock. How is that a scam? Donald Trump has a company that goes public, people buy it, and now Trump's the bad guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just called a voluntary transaction, where people have the freedom to either buy it or not buy it. It's on the open market, and people are choosing to buy it. Oh, but it's a scam because of the fundamentals. The fundamental analysis of this company cannot justify the valuation. Yeah, so what? Let's take a look at Nvidia, currently sitting at a $2.2 trillion market cap with a price of nearly $800 a share. And let's zoom into the most important number, the PE ratio, the price to earnings ratio, which is at a staggering 73.67. In other words, the fundamentals don't justify the stock price. What does that matter? It's an open market. People are voluntarily buying it. It's speculative. And obviously the Trump stock, it's all speculation. I mean, there's all kinds of people who are trying to make a quick buck on the thing, buying before the news hits, then selling at the hype. These are called basic market dynamics. none of it is Donald Trump's fault. And at the end of the day, the idea that he's scamming people is a complete farce. There's the speculation element, people making risky short-term gambles, and then there's the other element, which people just want to buy the stock because they want to support Trump. And it's not just small people, it's also some of the big dogs, venture capitalists. Here's David Sachs giving his opinion.
I think this is all part of the ongoing backlash to lawfare.
Yeah.
Joe Biden instructed his Justice Department to prosecute Trump. It's, in my view, it's utterly unprecedented in American history for one president to try and prosecute, imprison, and bankrupt his main opponent in the political election. And there are millions of Americans who are absolutely disgusted by this. I think it's a new low in American politics, and God bless all the people buying these shares to support Trump. Just as a protest vote, I don't know whether they're going to make money or lose money. Like I said, I don't think you can justify the valuation based on fundamentals, but you can sure as hell justify it based on payback.
It's like a protest vote. People don't care if they're going to make or lose money. The whole point is to support Donald Trump against this illegitimate lawfare campaign. In other words, people are getting exactly what they're buying. They're getting exactly what they paid for, and I really don't think people are losing sleep over it. I bought a little bit of stock myself. I've also had all kinds of people who are just your typical finance guys or just regular apolitical people who were talking about this stock way before the merger as being an interesting possible play. And so again, basic market dynamics. There's no scam here, there's no con. Donald Trump isn't going around saying his company is generating billions of dollars. Oh, we're on track to take over the social media landscape. No, he's simply doing his thing, and honestly, almost totally unprompted, people are acting and making their own financial decisions with their own money. I think most people see it quite similarly. It is like a GameStop stock. Barry Diller even admitted that himself. The only difference is, when that was happening to GameStop, GameStop had nothing to do with it. It was just the people mobilizing their own funds in their own ways, in their own quirky ways, some people making money, some people losing money, but at the end of the day, it's simple money movement and trading. But during that time, GameStop wasn't held accountable, GameStop wasn't conning the public. No, that only applies to Donald Trump. Now we have a GameStop type situation. Thanks to these lunatic Democrats and everything they've done, the Trump stock wouldn't be worth what it is. In fact, it probably wouldn't even exist had they not banned him off Twitter and essentially tried to deperson and deplatform him. And the giant spike in prices probably wouldn't exist if they weren't going after him legally with all of their ridiculous indictments. And so essentially they've done it to themselves. They've created this whole situation. But of course, the end conclusion is that Trump's the bad guy, as per usual. No matter what he does, no matter what happens, even if the man literally does nothing and something just happens around him surrounding his brand, it's still his fault, and he's a con artist and he's a bad businessman who runs every company into the ground, but he's also so lucky and just happens to stumble into billions of dollars all the time. He's a con artist. It's all a scam. The Trump MAGA cult has fallen for it again. Whatever the orange man does, they simply oblige. Yada, yada, yada. You know, all the same talking points each and every single time. I don't think these people realize how condescending they sound, how partisan, vitriolic, and vindictive they sound. You know, it's a sort of ugliness. It's the whole Hillary Clinton's deplorable ugliness that people, I think, see right through, or that really just doesn't sit well with the voting populace. I'm sure there's the typical leftist who just seal claps through all this stuff. Ha ha ha, Trump con man. Trump supporters so dumb, buy stock, lose money. Ha ha ha. I'm sure there's a lot of people who fall right into the talking point of the day, but there's a lot of other people, and I think probably the majority of people who are looking at this stuff thinking, you know, these people are just mean. They say Donald Trump's the mean guy, the supposed bully, but these people clearly don't have a nice bone in their body. There's this sort of aggressive hatefulness about them, this deep-seated hatred, and I think for the most part, it's really not convincing anyone. People can buy Donald Trump stock, and again, people are buying Donald Trump stock because of you unhinged leftists. Stop pointing the finger at everybody else, and maybe, just maybe, take 5 seconds to look at yourselves and these sort of phenomenons that you keep creating. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.